When did you first learn you were dyslexic, and how did that affect you?
Yeah, I first learned about it when I was 7 or 8 years old, but turns out I was first diagnosed when I was younger. My parents, for whatever reason, never wanted to, quote unquote, stigmatize me, but it was serendipitous. I happened to get home early from school and went upstairs to my mom's office and went through a pile of papers. I always sort of opened a drawer, curious, and there was a stack of papers about Gavin's dyslexia, and this word dyslexia. I'll never forget that indelible moment of reading through this as they were observing me and doing, games, and and it started explaining why I was going to these after-school programs.
Who is more involved in your life, your mom or your dad?
Oh, my mom, single mom. I mean, my dad's fabulous, huge part of my life today, but my mom was, she just never allowed me to use it as an excuse. And she would always be there to help supplement and always there to make sure that I was getting that support during the summer months, and she'd work a little harder to make sure that there were the resources to do it, and always sort of taught me it's okay. I mean, the thing for me was stress, the frustration.
The
anxiety, just this feeling, this self-esteem issue that I'm just dumb, I'm not capable. And so her thing was just being a mentor and a coach and saying, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay.
Every kid's worst nightmare with dyslexia is being called upon to come up in front of the class and do their report. Did you ever experience that?
It's honestly indelible to this day, and it's a cause of literally nightmares. When I wake up in the middle of the night, this is the reoccurring dream. Mr. Morris's class in Hull Middle School. And just watching the old clock, just praying, and it was rows of desks, of course, and everyone is doing a paragraph of a chapter, and you're just praying, and just you're counting to see how many rows that recess would be called, or you go to the next period, and then boom, and it's 1 minute before the period ends. You got to step up, you got to read. And I kept trying to predict which paragraph I would have to read to try to get ahead to see if I can read it first so I could prepare for it, and I couldn't figure that out. So I had to read it raw, and then I was dead. And I'll never forget just that one specific moment, not only just being terrified and anxious, but actually having to read and everyone laughing. And I'll tell you, to this day, I've read, I think, 16 years in politics. Lots of inaugural speeches, the lieutenant governor, mayor, giving budget speeches, state of the city speeches. I've read 2 or 3 speeches in my life. I, as a consequence, will not read from text. I'll just give speeches, just because that's the skill set, to the extent it's relative compared to being able to actually read out loud.
Yeah, I think I've read maybe 5 books in my life.
Have you? You're honest about it. The great gift and offset of dyslexia is what you overcompensate for. And I have a strange ability to memorize things that no human being should care about memorizing or even wish or want to memorize. But that allows me, at least extemporaneously when I'm giving a speech, to have this index in my brain of all these things I've underlined, and I could visually see them.
As I was kind of studying my questions and studying you a little bit, you work a lot with homeless and kind of the underdog community. And I was wondering if you think you do that because you're a little bit of an underdog yourself.
Yeah, I think what dyslexia, the perhaps the most profound gift is empathy. Boy, I see myself, when I see someone struggling, or I see especially young people going through a difficult period, immediate empathy. Been there, done that.
What advice would you give to young parents who have just learned their kid might have been diagnosed with dyslexia?
Just celebrate all those interesting differences that your kids have. Everyone has something that no one else has, something that's completely unique and distinctive to them. All of our expressions are unique. Who wants to be like everybody else? In a world where you're dealing with 2+ billion people that are in the workforce that are just like everybody else, what's your extra? And celebrate that, and help those children, help your kids find that, and celebrate those interesting differences.
Gavin, thank you so much.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.